Take a good look, people. Take a good look. Mount Athos, Agion Oros, 22nd of April 2016. Let me just turn the camera around here just to let you know, give you an idea of how it is over here. Well, the first thing I should say is I'm taking a break right now. I was hiking for a little while and then I just decided to stay for a few minutes, and now I'm going to make an extra few minutes because it's so peaceful here. I just want to relax. I just want to take it easy. I noticed there's a lot of caterpillars just walking around the grounds over here. Oh, there's one right there. Close up. There's that little guy right there. So I have to always get rid of them, otherwise they'll be on me. And it's like I said, it's very peaceful here. I just don't want to get off this rock. I just decided to stay here and relax for a little while. Now it's going to be a few more minutes, and then maybe another few more minutes. Basically, it's not that I want to relax because I'm tired. It's more because I want to enjoy the peace and quiet that you can find over here. It's so quiet. All you can hear is just the waves down there. And no roads, and no skyscrapers, no hustle and bustle, traffic lights. Nothing, just this mountain, a few houses, a few monasteries, and just this peacefulness about this place. It's unbelievable. A man could just continue walking along these trails, and until he's so tired he just can't do it anymore. And the reason why he's gonna walk so much is because he just enjoys the peacefulness about this place, the isolation of it all. It's another world. It's like you're thrown back into history and time. You're going back hundreds of years. A lot of these places were built 700-800 years ago. Nothing has changed. There's just monasteries here, about 24 I think, all in all, around the peninsula. And there's well, they say there's over 1,000 masses taking place each day on this mountain, and any given day, because there's just so many monasteries. There's 20 some large ones, and there's smaller ones, and there's even smaller ones, and there are masses taking place on each one every day. Over 1,000 masses every day, non-stop, on this mountain. And well, first of all, if somebody wants to get here, it's not that easy, but it's not impossible. If you're Greek, live in Greece, it's going to be easier. If you're abroad, living, let's say, the U.S., Canada, what you can do is call up the monastery. The phones are, you can just look them up on the internet. Speak whoever's responsible deacon, the father, and let them know that you want to book a reservation. You want to book a stay. It's going to be about, well, officially it's supposed to be 1 day in each monastery, and you can just keep booking different monasteries as long as you want until you run out. But practically what happens, you book for 4 days, they give you 4 days on each monastery, and then you just call up different monasteries from there. The way to get here is, well, it's not that easy. First, if you're coming from the US or Canada, you're going to take a flight to Athens, or connecting flight maybe through Europe, Germany, Frankfurt, Munich or Paris or whatever. Connecting flight to Thessaloniki. This would be a better option, because if you go directly to Greece, and you have to come back up another 600 kilometers or so. So it's directly to Thessaloniki, well, with a connecting flight from the US. And then once you're there, it's like an hour and a half. You can always take the bus. If you happen to arrive late at night, then you have to stay over Thessaloniki until the next day. They're coming here every day. Well, they don't come inside Agion Oros. They go to Uranoupolis, which is just outside of the area of Agion Oros, because this is an independent area. First, officially does not belong to Greece. It's not part of Greece. It belongs to the Patriarch of Constantinople. And so you have to make sure you have your papers with you, because once you board the boat, you have to show ID with your reservation at which monastery you've applied to, you've been accepted to, and that's you'll pay the fare, and that's your ticket to the boat, and you'll go through all the monasteries along the route, depending on which one you get off at. Well, then it's another half an hour or so getting here. This one I used Dionysios. So basically it's a connecting flight to Thessaloniki. After that you take the bus from Thessaloniki, Ktel it's called, to Agion Oros, to Uranoupouli. Now in order to do that, you have to go to the bus station of Chalkidiki. That's not easy to find. Just grab a cab, hop inside, you tell them bus station Chalkidiki, they'll bring you there. After that you tell them I'm going to Agion Oros. It can't be simpler than that. And they'll tell you wait there. You'll pay your bus fare, you go to Uranoupouli, you take, of course you have to make sure you have with you your acceptance letter from the monastery, or if you don't, you can pick it up at the office. There's a monastery office at Uranoupouli. It's probably going to be there. You just show your ID and they'll just print it out for you. So you just board the boat, and that's it. You show your ID and you're here. Once you're here, let me just see how much time I have left on this video. Okay, plenty of time. Once you're here, first of all, there's a few things to know. If you're planning to make this a vacation, because a lot of people are working all year round, can't make the time, and it's not like as if you're going to your neighbor state or a neighbor province or down in Florida where it's easy, just hop on a plane and come back the same day. This is gonna be it's a long trip. You need at least 2 days to come here and get back home, and give or take another day sightseeing somewhere to Thessaloniki, or maybe you're staying there overnight, another 4 or 5 days over here, so you'll need about 8 to 10 days. You have to have those days in advance. Or you just call back home and say, I'm gonna be a little bit late, honey. I'm at the monastery. Maybe your boss won't like that. And one thing to keep in mind is, first of all, this entire area here, 24 monasteries, Agion Oros, an independent area. It's like a state within a state in Greece. It's legally not bound by any laws, Greek laws. It reports directly to Constantinople, the Patriarch of Constantinople. They're the ones that have legal authority over this area. But it's it's guarded by Greek police and so on. It's very peaceful. There's nothing going on, no trouble here or anything. You won't find your typical bank robber out to make a buck over here. Everybody's peaceful, nice, and keep in mind though that this is a male-only area, so you won't be bringing along your wife. She might be disappointed this time. Your daughters, well, they have to stay home. They won't be able to come here. Your son you can bring, and friends, relatives, they just have to be male. There have been women in this area, this part of the world, this area, for over 1,000 years. And a few that tried to make it, in disguise, they had dire consequences afterwards, and not by the police. So, you don't want to take those chances, do you? So, that's it. You're here, and then keep in mind that you will be, there's services at the monastery, Mass 3 times a day. Totaling for about, 7, maybe more hours. After Mass, you go for dinner. There's a meal being served. And after that, you have a little bit of time on your own. And by the way, Mass takes place here like 3 in the morning, okay? So there's going to be a monk outside your room knocking on a piece of wood, very loud. And that's going to wake you up. That's your wake-up call. They've been doing that for centuries, so there are no alarm clocks going off here. Or you'll be woken up in the middle, in the dead of night, to get dressed. Woken up by some monk just hammering, just knocking very hard on a piece of wood. And that won't be your door, by the way. He'll be carrying this wood around him and just knocking on it. So it's going to wake all the people up in the hallway, in the corridors, all the visitors. They have to get dressed, and within a half an hour you'll be off to the monastery, praying with the monks inside. Pitch dark. Most of you won't understand what they're saying. But since you're here, you have to respect what they do, and you have to do it with them. If you decide to stay longer than 4 days, you can end up staying 10, 15, maybe people have come here and never left. And they just called it a quits right here and there. If you decide to stay more than 4 days, then on your free time, if you're just hanging around the monastery, a monk will probably ask you to follow him, and he'll give you just some work to do. I don't know, washing floors, cutting potatoes in the kitchen. I've done that. And washing dishes, I don't know, just cleaning up, making beds, doing the laundry. So you'll be helping out. It's not a free ride. It's inexpensive to stay here. Your visitation, your visiting paper, your visit will actually cost 25 euro. That's what, roughly up or down 40 American nowadays at the exchange rate. So that's $40 for as long as you stay. Meals, and of course your room is included in the price. Basically, it's just a kind of a symbolic fee. And if you decide to make a donation, if you're an Orthodox Christian, it will be accepted. If you're not of an Orthodox faith, then the monk will tell you, or the deacon here will tell you, keep your money, and just when you go back home, you give it to a poor person. Whoever is poor, you just give the money to them. If you are Orthodox Christian, then the donation will be accepted, and you'll have to write it down on a piece of paper. Your name, family name, the names of the members of your family, and all those names, and the information will be read out at the end of Mass inside the monastery by monks. So it's a blessing. And that's it. You just make sure you come here, the weather's right. The best time to come here is like just before the summer, springtime, and just after summer. Because if you're here during the summer months, believe me, it's going to be very hot. We're trying to find shade all over the place. We're just running around trying to look for shade. It's going to be very hot. So, just before May or after September or during September, it's the best time to be here. It's a vacation that you will not be making many times in your life, and it's a vacation unlike you have ever made before, because as you can see, let me just turn the camera around. There are obviously no beaches and no bars and no hotels, no glitz and glitter, and no casinos here, and I don't know what you like to do, but no clubs, no beach bars, no ladies with bikinis. Just yourself. Monks, people here don't smile, and if they do it very, very discreetly, because this is not a place to be trying to impress anyone. You will be yourself here. You won't have to. You don't need to smile at anybody. You don't need to say hello to anybody, because here nobody says hello. They say evlogumen, which means blessed. There's no good morning and goodbye and good afternoon. There's nothing like that here. Just evlogumen, blessed. That's how you greet people here, the monks. And you will not try not to look at the monks directly in the eyes. It's not polite, and they won't like it. So whenever you see a monk, you turn your head away, and you just say evlogumen, and just make sure you don't look at them directly, because it's not polite. So things are very strange in this place. And the time is not your regular time. It's not Greek time. It's Byzantine time. So the times will change. The clock. There's a different clock here. It would be read, I think, 6 hours front in advance. 6 hours forward, that is. Everything is different here. There is no need to do anything. You just get rid of everything you know and find yourself. It's not easy to do, because you've been born and raised a certain way. Learn how to say this, that's the way to say it. But that's in the outside world. You do all these things in the outside world. This is another world. These guys, they live by their own rules.